Good afternoon, Year 5, and welcome to your science lesson for the week. So today we are going to be investigating and comparing life cycles. Our first life cycle will be a butterfly, and then we will be looking at a frog and what makes them different and what makes them the same. Just checking for today. Our first question is, what 2 ingredients did we add to make the yeast grow in our experiment? So have a think back to our experiment. What did me and Miss Fink add to our yeast to help it grow? Second question is, what part of the ear collects sounds? We had a little chat about this last week in our just checking, but see if you can remember the specific part of the ear that collects sound. Our third question, we're going to need to remember all the way back till last term for our space topic. Can you name me all of the rock planets? So have a think about the rock planets and can you name them for me? And our last year question, can you name me a habitat? So have a think, it can be any type of habitat. There'll be lots of different answers to this one. And just write it down on a piece of paper and we will go through the answers. So pause the video, take your time, and then I will move on and go through the answers. Okay, the first answer was sugar and warm water. Remember that sugar gave the yeast energy to grow and the warm water provided it with hydration. And remember, it grew and grew and grew and grew and came out the top of the cup. So that should have been your answer. Give yourself a tick or mark it in a purple pen or a different coloured pen. Second question was an eardrum. That is the part of the ear that collects sound. So well done if you remembered that from last unit. Hey, last term, naming the rock planets, they are Venus, Mercury, Earth, and Mars. We are a rock planet, not a gas planet. So well done if you got those ones right. And can you name me a habitat? So I've just put 3 down, Arctic, desert, and jungle. But if you've put rainforest or tropical or anything that you know is a habitat, then give yourself a tick. Okay, today we are looking at our big question. What is a life cycle? You and your adult or whoever you have at home, you can watch this video if you would like to have a little look at what a life cycle is and what it looks like in practice. Now, I've got these 2 little monster friends here with me today. If you normally do 1 chili in our science lessons, and you should know who you are, then you need to be looking out for the green monster. He will tell you what work you'll be doing today. So any slides with the green monster, you need to listen and have a follow along. If you are normally 2 or 3 chilies, you will be following the purple monster. So any slides with the purple monster you need to be looking at. Right. A life cycle is the process of how an animal or insect grows. We draw them in circles with arrows. We start at the top and we move along with each stage as an animal or insect grows and changes. Let's look at a butterfly first. Now, a butterfly species is an insect, so we're going to have a look at the way that an insect grows. Now, we know that a butterfly is not a mammal because it lays an egg. So a butterfly begins with its life with a small white egg, tiny white egg on a leaf. After about 5 days, the egg hatches into a small caterpillar. A caterpillar's first meal is its own eggshell, so that's the first thing it eats. Caterpillars eat a huge amount of leaves, so this stage is sometimes called the eating stage. Caterpillars grow very quickly and have to shed their skins many times because they grow out of their skin and they have to keep shedding it and eating more and more. So this would be our first stage, it being an egg. Then we draw an arrow in our second stage. After 5 days, the caterpillar eats its own shell and starts to grow and shed its skin. So we've gone from an egg to a caterpillar. We've spoken about that one. Then the butterfly becomes a chrysalis. So it turns into a chrysalis that hangs from a tree. Chrysalis is one of our key words. So see if you can pronounce chrysalis. And that is the hanging shell that the caterpillar grows in. The butterfly then emerges and changes from a caterpillar into a butterfly. Butterflies only live for about 2 weeks. So far we've had an egg, a caterpillar, a chrysalis, and a butterfly. 4 stages. Then a female butterfly will lay more eggs, and these eggs are on the leaf, and we're back round to the start. So here is what it looks like if we drew it out as a life cycle. We start off with a small white egg, we draw our arrow, and it becomes a caterpillar. Then our caterpillar becomes a chrysalis or a pauper and hangs from a leaf. Then it comes out of its chrysalis and becomes a butterfly. Then that butterfly lays more eggs, and so the cycle continues, hence why it's called a life cycle. Now, if you usually do 1 chili, you can now have a go at doing this task. I have given you each stage of our life cycle. You may go back in the video to have a look at the life cycle before. I would like you to draw me a life cycle using these 4 stages, and then you need to match up the picture and the text to those stages. So we know that they start off as a small eggs. So I would write eggs, and then I would choose the egg, draw some eggs on a leaf and write my sentence. The butterfly lays eggs on leaves. And then continue to go around, remembering to put in my arrows. Now, if you are normally 1 chili, you may pause the video here and do your task. Okay. If you have continued to watch the video, that means that you are normally 2 or 3 chilies. And I would like you to keep in your head all of the life cycle things we've learned about a butterfly. And now we're going to have a look at an amphibian or a frog. So we're starting off here at number 1. The female lays a mass of eggs. So that is similar to a butterfly. They've both laid eggs. After 2 to 25 days, the tadpoles hatch from the eggs. We have a little tadpole with a tail. It swims and eats plants, and it breathes through its gills, so it's getting bigger. Stage 4, it grows fins and a stronger tail and has lungs to help it breathe and hind legs. So again, our animal is getting bigger. The tadpole at stage 5 then grows front legs and its tail shortens, and it uses nutrients, we've learned that word before, all the good vitamins that are in food, from its tail as food, and it jumps out of the water onto land. So now it's able to jump. And at number 6, its tail disappears and it starts to eat insects. It takes 2 to 4 years to become an adult, and then it lays eggs, and we are back to the start. So a butterfly had 4 stages: egg, caterpillar, chrysalis, butterfly. An amphibian has eggs, small tadpole, it grows gills, it breathes through its lungs and its hind legs, its tail shortens and it can jump, then it becomes an adult. So if you are normally 2 to 3 chili, you can now draw for me the life cycle of a butterfly, and then draw me one for a frog. And as your challenge, can you write me a paragraph explaining how they are similar and how they are different? I want lots of detail in my picture, and I'd like lots of detail in my sentences. You may go back in the video to have a look at each stage and any key information you need to add. Me and Ms. Fink are really excited to see your beautiful life cycles, so please take time over them. Don't just rush them. We'd like to see the arrows and each picture with a sentence, and then a paragraph underneath explaining what is similar and what is different. Thank you very much for watching, and we're very excited to see them. Make sure that you go back in the video if you need some help, and watch the video for further guidance, the BBC Bite-Size video. Feel free to do your own research online and add as many keywords in as you can. And I will see you all soon. Goodbye.